If you've spent years believing you're overweight because you just lack discipline, watch this. Within days of eating differently, my clients stop white knuckling hunger, not from willpower, but because their metabolism flips a hidden switch that finally lets their body feed itself. Hey everyone, my name's Marc Bates. I'm a metabolic health coach, and this is part of my question and answer series. The hidden metabolic switch that ends hunger without willpower. Okay, this is an important one. Let's get to the question. You describe this cellular reprogramming as essentially unlocking fat stores, but most people haven't been told for decades that they need to eat less and move more. When you're working with clients who failed on traditional calorie restriction, what's the first metabolic change they notice that makes them realize this isn't about willpower? Well, yeah, that really does happen. When someone has been through years or even decades of eat less, move more, right? Calories in, calories out myth advice. And they're usually carrying a heavy load of frustration, shame, and hopelessness because in that environment, it's your fault that you're eating too much, right? Well, they've been told their lack of success is a willpower problem, and it's not. What flips the script for them on a ketogenic or carnivore approach is when their biology, not their willpower, starts working in their favor again. Here's how that realization often unfolds. The first noticeable change is hunger cravings calm down. When you've been told you're overweight because you lack discipline, just control your portions, what you experience is within a few days of changing to a carnivore or a ketogenic diet is a few days of that carb restriction, the constant gnawing hunger evaporates because it's your biology that's forcing that hunger. You can start going 4 to 6 hours between meals, sometimes longer, without thinking about food. Why this happens biochemically? Well, first, your insulin drops. Lowering carbs stops the constant post-meal insulin spikes that lock fat away in adipose tissue. You have access to your own fat stores now. Fatty acids are liberated and burned for fuel, supplying a steady energy stream for your cells. So your cells aren't screaming for energy. Your liver is producing ketones from the fat. Ketones cross the blood-brain barrier, fueling neurons efficiently, stabilizing energy levels, and appetite-regulating hormones like ghrelin and leptin. It balances those back again. So the impact on you is, for the first time in years, you're not white-knuckling your way to the next meal. This is a physiological freedom, not a physical restraint. Essentially what happens is you have an energy switch, right? And what I often hear is people say, I feel like someone turned the lights back on. This shows up as no more mid-afternoon crashes and steady physical and mental energy even after skipping a meal. What causes this? Well, as your mitochondria adapt to fat and keto metabolism, they produce more ATP per unit of fuel with fewer reactive oxygen species, which are inflammation, avoiding the sugar high and sugar crash cycle. No sugar crash, you don't have that uncontrollable hunger. Okay, and the other thing is that bloating and water weight vanish very quickly. And yeah, I know people say, well, it's just water weight, but that's important. You have that extra water weight because you're burning all those carbs. In the first 3 to 5 days, glycogen depletion pulls water out of the tissues. Each gram of stored glycogen holds 3 to 4 grams of water. This isn't fat loss yet, but it's immediate, tangible sign that the body is responding without starving. Clients often say their rings fit looser or their face looks less puffy. It's an early win. That signals something different is happening compared to past diets. And here's the big one. Cravings for junk food fade. Now, they may never go away 100%, depending on how long you've been craving, but they become very controllable. Within 1 to 2 weeks, many clients report that the compulsive urge for sugar and snacks is gone. How does this happen? Well, low-carb eating stabilizes dopamine signaling in the brain. Ketones provide a steady, rewarding energy source, blunting the brain's drive to seek out fast carbs. And then hyperinsulinemia's energy lock is gone, so there's no desperate signal for quick glucose fixes. On top of this, most people report quickly that their mental clarity is improving. They often describe this as fog lifting or brain fog. My brain feels sharper, right? This is largely driven by ketones fueling neurons more efficiently, reducing brain inflammation and stabilizing neurotransmitter signaling. Okay? And then you start to realize, hey, it's not about willpower. The breakthrough realization usually comes during a conversation like this. Client, I skipped lunch today without even noticing. That's never happened in my life unless I was forcing myself. So what do I say? Yeah, exactly. Your body's able to feed itself from your own fat stores. This isn't you getting stronger, it's your metabolism working as it should. This is often profoundly emotional because it rewrites the story they've been told for years. Their past failure wasn't a moral weakness, it was a metabolic trap caused by insulin resistance and a broken energy switch that no amount of willpower could overcome. Once that switch flips, biology works with them, not against them. So, quickly, in summary, the first things clients notice isn't necessarily the scale moving. And I always tell people, look at your weight is, if you're overweight, right? The weight is a symptom of a metabolic problem. It is not the cause of it per se. And as you're fixing your metabolism, it may be one of the last things to actually heal up and move. Okay, you got other things to worry about. So don't worry too much about your scale moving. It's the absence of hunger cravings followed by steady energy and mental clarity. These are the biochemical signatures of a restored or restoring metabolic flexibility. Proof that weight loss resistance was hormonal and cellular, not a failure of character. Remember, ultimately, it's not your fault. You're just not eating according to your biology. All right, everyone. Thanks for watching. If you have a comment or a question, put it in the appropriate section. You know where. Also, if you have something you like me to work on, this is a community. I'm here to try to answer your questions. Let me know what you're looking for, and I will work on videos for that. And if you haven't done so, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with a friend. It helps the channel a great deal. I appreciate that, but you're also helping a bunch of other people. Thank you.